Before you ask, yes, I'll reveal where your country ranks. And no, this won't make you feel better about yourself. But hey, at least you'll have data to back up your insecurities now. #8 South Korea, 3.8 inches, 9.6 centimeters, starting off strong with South Korea at 3.8 inches. Now, before the comments section explodes, this is flaccid measurements. People, flaccid. You know, the state where it's basically in hibernation mode, dreaming of better times. But here's the thing about South Korea. These guys invented K-pop, Samsung, and figured out how to make skincare so good that their men have better skin than most women. They've got their priorities straight. While other countries were measuring their dicks, Korea was out here perfecting BB cream and building economic empires. Also, they've got mandatory military service and the highest average IQ in the world. So yeah, they might not be winning the meat measuring contest, but they're probably too busy being successful to care. Fun fact, South Korean plastic surgery industry is worth billions. And yet, somehow, penis enlargement isn't in their top 10 procedures. That's called confidence. Gentlemen. #7 India, 4.0 inches, 10.2 centimeters. India comes in at number 7 with 4.0 inches. Now, India has 1.4 billion people. That's almost 18% of the entire human population. So clearly, penis size isn't the limiting factor in productivity. They're doing just fine in the reproduction department. Guys, you know what India does have? The Kama Sutra. While other civilizations were drawing stick figures on cave walls, India was out here writing 1,000 to 100-page illustrated manuals on 60 for different positions. That's not compensation. That's specialization. It's like being a Formula One driver with a compact car. Sure, you don't have a truck, but you've read the manual 47 times and you know every technique in the book. Quality over quantity, my friends. Also, they invented yoga, which means better flexibility for activities. See strategy. #6 China, 4.3 inches, 10.9 centimeters. China rolls in at 4.3 inches, with 1.4 billion people. Just like India, China is not worried about this ranking. They've been busy building the Great Wall, inventing gunpowder, and creating an economic superpower while the rest of us were arguing about dick sizes on Reddit. Here's the beautiful irony. China manufactures like 60% of the world's sex toys. 60%. They're not competing in the size Olympics. They're sponsoring it. They're sitting back, collecting that sweet adult toy money, while everyone else measures themselves with the rulers they also probably manufactured. Big brain energy right there. Also, traditional Chinese medicine has been around for 3,000 years. You think they haven't figured out every possible workaround by now? Please. Number 5. United Kingdom, 5.2 inches, 13.2 centimeters. The Brits clock in at a respectable 5.2 inches. Now, this is hilarious because Britain spent like 400 years colonizing half the planet with big empire energy, and it turns out they were working with. The sun never set on the British Empire, but apparently it wasn't because of what they were packing in their trousers. But here's what the UK does have: dry humor, legendary sarcasm, and the ability to make self-deprecation into an art form. They've been roasting themselves for centuries. You think a penis size ranking bothers them? They invented the phrase taking the piss. This is their comfort zone. Also, they gave us Shakespeare, the Beatles, and the phrase keep calm and carry on. These are people who dealt with the Blitz by having tea. They're gonna be fine. Plus, British accents apparently make everyone sound 40% more attractive. So really, they're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Number for United States, 5.4 inches, 13.7 centimeters. America coming in at number 4 with 5.4 inches. And look, I can already hear the comments. But we're number 1, USA, USA. Yeah, well, not in this department. Chief, turns out everything S bigger in Texas was mostly referring to the trucks. And and the portion sizes. Here's the thing about America though, they're really good at marketing. They've convinced the entire world that they rate the biggest at everything through sheer confidence and good PR. It's honestly impressive. This is a country that deep fries butter and calls it cuisine. Confidence has never been the issue. Americans will literally measure everything in football fields and bald eagles, except their own dicks, which they measure in freedom units that nobody else understands. It's a power move. Also, America invented Viagra, which is basically admitting, yeah, we need help, and we're gonna monetize the hell out of it. Respect. #3 Brazil. 6.0 inches 15.2 centimeters. Brazil enters the podium positions at 6.0 inches. Now we're talking. Brazil shows up and suddenly it's like, oh, that's what we're competing for. But honestly, nobody's surprised. This is a country that invented the Brazilian wax, the thong bikini, and carnival. They've been confident about their bodies since day one. While other countries were wearing modest swimwear, Brazil was out here like, yeah, we're gonna wear dental floss to the beach and feel great about it. Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that's not just a martial art. That's a metaphor for their entire approach to life. Flexible, dominant, and always finding creative angles. Also, Brazil has the biggest Christ the Redeemer statue in the world. Is it compensation? Who cares? It's working. Number 2 France. 6.2 inches 15.7 centimeters. France sliding into second place at 6.2 inches. Of course it's France, the country that invented French kissing, champagne, and the phrase "je ne sais quoi" is packing heat. They've been seducing the entire world with wine, cheese, and cigarettes for centuries. This is just confirmation. The French have a saying, joie de vivre, the joy of living, and apparently, they've got the equipment to back it up. While other countries were having Puritan guilt trips, France was painting nude portraits and calling it art. Also, the French invented lingerie, not underwear, lingerie. That's the difference between functional. And I'm trying to impress you. They understand presentation. Fun fact, France has a lower obesity rate than America despite eating butter with every meal. They've figured out life, including this department apparently. #1 Ecuador, 6.9 inches, 17.5 centimeters. And the winner is Ecuador with a staggering 6.9 inches. Ecuador, a country most people couldn't point to on a map, is out here winning the genetic lottery. While the rest of us were worried about global warming and economic inflation, Ecuador was just existing, winning, thriving, population 18 million. Most people surprised Ecuador even made the list. Ecuador, not surprised at all. This is the greatest underdog story of all time. Ecuador is like the quiet kid in class who never participates, and then shows up to the final exam and gets a perfect score, while everyone else is crying in the corner, and the average is 6.9. The memes write themselves. The universe has a sense of humor. Here's what Ecuador has: the Galapagos Islands, where Darwin figured out evolution, the Amazon rainforest, and apparently the most genetically blessed men on the planet. They're out here living their best life, not bragging, just existing at peak performance. So there you have it. The global rankings nobody needed, but everybody wanted. Size doesn't matter for civilization success. South Korea's economy is booming. China manufactures everything, and Britain conquered the world. Clearly, there's no correlation. Confidence is everything. America a number for acting like number 1. That's brand power. Baby Ecuador wins everything. Honestly, if you're Ecuadorian, just good for you. Enjoy that W. And look, if your country didn't make this list, congratulations! You're either average or you wisely avoided participating in studies. Where strangers measure your junk. Both are valid life choices. At the end of the day, it's not about the size of the boat. It's about, if you clicked on this video, you've definitely heard that phrase 100 times already. I'm not gonna insult your intelligence. Just remember, confidence, technique, and personality matter way more than any of this. Also, these are averages. Statistics lie. Everyone's rounding up, and studies are flawed. But hey, at least now you have interesting trivia for your next awkward dinner party. If this video made you laugh or cry, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment with your country country, and let's see how defensive everyone gets. And remember, we're all just humans trying our best with what we've got. Stay confident, stay informed, and for the love of God, stop Googling this at 2 a.m. in peace.